Evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's 7 o'clock. It's been a while since I've done a webinar. The team have all clocked off for the night. So it's just me. But I can hear myself one second. So let me know where you guys are from. So I'm calling from the Newcastle upon Tyne, County Durham, northeast area. Do we have any Londoners? Do we have any? Cardiff, Halifax. It's nice to see people who have interacted with on Instagram. Some really familiar faces. It's always nice to see good friendships forming. So ultimately, it's really nice to have friends right on here. It's good to see new faces. Maybe you've come across us from some of our social media engagement that we never interacted personally. Swindon, Suffolk, Liverpool, Newton-le-Willows. Chris, I don't even know where that is. Cardiff, Oxfordshire, Halifax. We're actually in London on the 14th of March. So I'll be coming down. Okay, fantastic. St. Andrews. We were running an event in Edinburgh a few weeks back. Fantastic. Well, Edinburgh is a fantastic city. I love Scotland anyway. There must be a lot of snow. I'm a big skier. So I've been skiing a fair few times up in Scotland. Oh, Jedburgh, not too far from us. Always good to see Craig from Newcastle. So how many of you actually follow me on Instagram? So we do so much content on Instagram. I love the stories. Anybody who actually watch our stories on Instagram? I post sometimes like 20 times a day showing you like case studies and what we're doing projects-wise and the fun we do with the team and working with people like yourselves. Anybody follow us on Instagram? If you're not, check out Tom Heaney _property. I just absolutely, that's my favorite platform to engage with people just to get to know people. So we're just waiting for a couple more minutes before we start. Great to know that, Chris. Yeah, our YouTube channel. So Chris follows on YouTube. We try and get out 3 videos a week on YouTube. I really enjoy just trying to play about with that. I'm trying to do some vlogging now. So maybe ski trip vlog series, and I'm trying to vlog when we're doing events and stuff like that as well, just to kind of, just people. I'm just playing about with this. So I'm always eager to know what is it you get value from, because ultimately the whole point of doing all this is to help get success for people and help empower people to just do more exciting stuff and know that there's more to life than what maybe people think is possible. So yeah, and really excited. I'm just going to show you this. Wait a second. Look at this. And the book came out finally today. Hallelujah. So massive gratitude and thank you if you have actually purchased this book. Like, this has been a project that's been a year in the making. It's 126 pages. Dyslexic guy like myself has managed to smash a book out. I'm proud of it and hugely grateful for all the people that have invested in this in the past 24 hours. We've hit hashtag number 3 in the charts on Amazon. Like, for me, wow, like, that's amazing. I was like, if I could even get in the top 10, I'll be absolutely super proud and super chuffed and know that this book will change lives. So if you're interested in learning more about the book or you want to buy it, it's on Amazon right now at £9.99. And it would just be grateful if you did that today. So see if we can hit that top spot number 1. Thanks very much, Chris, for ordering it. So it's everything from different property strategies that we're covering on this webinar tonight, but also my story, tools, and it's even got free tools. Free tools, I'll give you a little look. It's got free tools. Look at them. It's even got free tools so you can actually do some work and tasks to help you create your financial freedom plan as well. So small investment, and if you can pass that on once you've actually read it and you've then implemented it and it's working for you, I just think pass this book on. And I think this stuff in here is and should be taught in school. Like if I was in control of education, this book would be taught in schools. Thanks very much, Mac. Anybody else who's bought it? So Phil, high five for yourself. Chris, Mac, fantastic. Mac, wow, you've got a cracking name there. Fantastic. Did you come to our Edinburgh event, by the way? So anyway, we are about to start. So fantastic. If you already follow us for a while, like yes, we're on Instagram. We give so much value on Instagram. We have a YouTube channel. We have a Facebook community group, and ultimately the whole point of it all is to just engage and try and reach out to people who are nice people and want to just create more success, help more people, give more back, but also create financial independence and financial freedom to do more of what you love. And what you love and what I love could be completely different. And for me, it's just a journey. Have fun with it and surround yourself in a community of like-minded people. Now, I'm just looking at the people who are on this tonight. Like for me, I can see already there's people I would almost like. It feels like a family. Like you show up to our events, you engage in our Facebook group, you interact with me on Instagram. I mean, some of you are my joint venture partners. It's just exciting, like the fact that we've got this community building, not just online, but also offline. So just welcome. And if you don't know me, I'm just going to give you an insight into where I'm at right now. So I have been skint. I have been jobless. I have had deals that fell out of bed and not worked. I've overspent on refurbs. I've lost deals on the day when I physically thought, here's the keys, I'm so excited. I've lost them. I've used the wrong mortgage products. I've done joint ventures, which I wouldn't do joint ventures again. I've been deep in the pits of depression. I've made, you know, like, I'm just like yourself. Like we all just have stories in our lives. At the same time, I've got a commitment for massive success, and I have a commitment to always be the best version of myself. And the best thing I like about life is it's seeing if I know that I've helped and contributed to someone to get massive success, or just moved one further forward from where they are now, so they have a more fulfilled life, and I've got significance in that. Even if it's this part, then I feel amazing. For me, that's where I get my energy and I get excited. So if you've ever met me in real life, maybe you've been to one of our events, I'd like to think that's where you'll see the true Tom and you get to know me. Whereas online, it's really hard to gauge where you're at. So thanks for showing up tonight. It's my commitment to give you value. What James busy, he's sending all the books out. He doesn't want to be seen online though, so he's doing a runner. So he's working late. But ultimately, I have been in property for since just before the crash. So maybe you're brand new to property. If you're just going to take you back, like 2007, 2008, I was like, I'm so excited. The property market's booming. I want to get in. I didn't know really how, but I got some, I saved up some money from my first job. So I was like, that it, I'm in. And so I thought I was getting a great deal. I'd offered like $3 or $4 grand less than the asking price, thinking I was a bit cheeky, and I got my house. I was doing all the work myself. I made so many mistakes. I was like even taking beers to the guys on the roof, saying, "Have a great day, guys. Enjoy. Well done for doing the work so far." Like stuff I would never, ever, ever, ever advocate right now, because nobody told me how. I was just listening to people around me. I was watching like Homes of the Hammer, and I thought that was how you did it. How wrong was I? The property market crashed, boom, just after I bought it. And I had to hold that house for like 4 years until I could exit it, sell it, because I was trying to buy it, do up and sell. Maybe you've heard of that strategy: buy, do up and sell. It's called flipping. So that's kind of where I started. I was winging it, and it was just so slow and painful, because I heard of things like bridging finance, which maybe you've never heard before. People are saying it's risky. I'd heard about those like creative strategies, but hey, I was listening to the wrong community. But hey, it's great. We've got this beautiful community now, and just thanks for being part of it and being open-minded to education and training. So big gratuity to yourself. Fast forward over these 12 years, 13 years, I own multi-lets, single lets, I own commercial premises, I lend money out, I borrow money in, I do joint ventures, I sell deals on and package them, I've done commercial conversions, and I've built a healthy portfolio. And I also do things like rent to rent and creative no burning down strategies like purchase lease options. And you name it, I'll have dabbled or tried to create some income or cash flow from it. And then you find your niche. And yeah, this is where I am right now. My passion is just education training. I absolutely love it. Like, it's just fulfillment. It's like, because you're growing, you're achieving, you're contributing, and bam, that's where I'm at. And I also have a property management company, which we manage our own stuff in house and then rent to rent. I have a development company where I wear my hard hat. Check me out. Look at this. Boom. And yeah, this is where we are today. So where are you guys and girls at? Like, how do you have any properties? How many do you own? Would you own one? Do you own zero? You're brand new. Do you have like 5, 10? How many properties have you got? I'm curious. I've got one of my team, Mahesh, involved as well. He's having a look and engaging with me. So Jamie, fantastic. Looked at one today. That's a good start for me. By the way, maybe you've heard this phrase: knowledge is power. Yeah, for me, there's an even better element to that. It's called knowledge with massive action is power. And that's not just power, that's results. Okay, so for me, knowledge is a great part of the puzzle, but then there's the implementation behind it, which really gets the world into an amazing next level. Okay, so Zach, fantastic, thanks for being on. So Mahesh set up a poll. So ultimately, no matter where your background and where you're starting from, because maybe you've got no money right now, maybe you're starting out, maybe you've got associations with money that's stopping you, holding you back, because hey, I've had them too. Because maybe you've been heard phrases like a penny saved is a penny earned. Like, these kind of statements have come from typically poor people or people who've got an association with money that doesn't really serve them to create maximum wealth. Now, property can and will create you financial independence if you follow the right systems. Like, people that say you can't, it's because it's not because they can't, they just don't know how, or they haven't made it work. Maybe because they've had the wrong mentors, wrong training, or they just haven't been consistently taking action. Like, ultimately, it is a system if it's done the right way. Is there risk in property? Yes, there is, but you can completely reduce the risk if you get the right team, the right appraisals, and you buy in the right area. So this stuff is amazing. So yeah, money stopping you. Yeah, fine. So this book, by the way, if you're interested, it's on Amazon right now. It is live. If you don't have to take action right now, but by the end of this webinar, if you think, you know what, I want to invest in your education, this book, it's $9.99. And I'd be hugely grateful, because it'll also help us try and get to the top of Amazon. Like, who thought number 3 already in the Amazon charts? That's amazing. So yeah, this book, by the way, obviously you can see down the bottom, it says Property TV. I'm featured on Sky now. I've won awards in property, in property and in teaching and learning. Won national awards for it, which are nominated by the kids. So hugely grateful to the kids. High five to the kids. Maybe you're one of the people I should teach and you're watching this. That just shows you're showing back up, and I must have done something right. So thumbs up to yourselves for showing up. But if you buy the book, we are giving some bonuses to say a huge thank you. So if you do buy one and you're one of the first 200 purchases, and then in the next 24 hours, you'll get an invite to one of our mastermind days, where we'll give some massive value. It'll only be for people who bought the book, and I'm going to give you brand new content. Also, there's opportunity to get one-to-one coaching support with myself, and also some of you will get 3 months of support from myself. But it'll be the hand picked from a hat. Boom. to see who's can help that. So maybe that you are the lucky winner. So Mahesh is going to type in the link to the book if you want to take advantage of those benefits. So tonight, anyway, we are looking at how you can make more money from property. And different systems that different ways we're utilizing money right now. But I also want to show you some of the predictions. Like I think the opportunities right now, London, and I think we're about 12 hours away myself from buying a property in London. So there's still deals to be had, and we're just going to be flipping that house on potentially. So I'll be making maybe 70, 80 grand from that house, which doesn't sound like much in London, but we will literally be owning it for a matter of months. And these are like advanced strategy techniques, which we won't be covering tonight. But ultimately, I think London, the prices right now have flatlined, but you are going to see some marginal growth this year. And it's a bit like a wave. So imagine the UK is like a wave. So London's seen a big, huge growth over the past 10 years, like real acceleration. But the North has seen marginal growth. So Sheffield upwards. Manchester has been doing really well. But I think the wave has now moved out of London and the growth is going to be heading up north. And it's interesting because I run events across the country, and it's the appetite for investment from London, from the Southerners in the northern half of the UK is just going through the roof. It's so exciting because they see it's a better way and a better place to get better returns for their money. So for me, I just think it's a huge opportunity right now to get into property because there's just such an amazing energy in certain areas of the country. Now, London, yeah, it's slightly flatlined and it'll grow maybe about 3%, 4%. But hey, just watch the north. And I don't mean just the northeast, I mean just like the north, where you can get singlets for like 70,000 quid. And I know some of you in London are going, £70,000, you can buy a house for 70 grand. No way. Yes, you can. You just need to know where. I also think that so the north, because there's like those wave flowed to the north, you're going to see some scaremongering on the newspaper. So maybe you've seen the scaremongering because of the coronavirus on the newspapers. It's the same with property. So just watch out for the big announcements where it says like the property market's going to crash. Just watch because they'll do it. But I think it was a crystal ball. We can only go on guesswork. But my gut feeling and looking at what's been going on, I think you're going to see a real good positive surge for the next 10 months, at least in the northern areas of the UK. So we're investing. We've really hit the switches on. We're actively looking to buy more property in the next 10 months. So this is one property, for example, I bought in January. I bought it for 39,000. We refurbed it for 15. It's we've advertised it at £500. We've already had a viewing. It went live today, and we've already got a viewing. We think the tenants already said yes. How amazing is that? And we're just going through refinance now. We expect to refinance it at 80,000. So once we've refinanced it, we will then pull all our money out, and then we're going to be making like £300 profit per month. So like this is called a buy to let. So we've bought it. We're going to then rent it out. But what I've done on this one is I've bought it, I've refurbed it, I'm refinancing it, and then I'm renting it out. So that's called a BRR, buy, refurbish, refinance. And this is a really good, solid property investment strategy if you're brand new to property, because a lot more people can find 40 grand than they can 200 grand. So maybe you're on the south right now and the starting price for property is like 150K. Start looking up north. And that's how people like ourselves can help you, because if we know what your search criteria is, actually our team can for certain credible investors actually work for you for a fee, which we're going to cover in this webinar. And this is how you can make money helping people who are time poor. So we're going to come to that as well. But like, who thinks or who would love to have one of these as their first properties? Look at the picture. Like, I would happily live in that property. So say yes in the chat if you would happily take one of these as one of your investments. And this was just sitting on Rightmove. Okay, Angela, great to hear. Christine, well, okay, yeah, we can see where the Geordies are. So like I spent probably a day of my time on this property. So I spent one day, and that including going, viewed it, checked in the refurb a couple of hours, did some selfies on Instagram. So if you're following on Instagram, you might want to add me, by the way, if you like following this journey, Tom Heaney_property on Instagram. Like I show you tours when I'm doing my projects. I do like lots of video tours to help you understand more how you can do it. So do add me. And Mahesh, do write the Instagram tag at Tom Heaney_property. But yeah, buy to lets, by the way, some people think they're dead. I think they just don't know how again, because once again, scaremongering. They'll say things like the government have changed the taxation, so the margins are getting squashed. It's a really bad time. The government are hammering landlords. I'm going, well, sometimes I guess partly there are, but at the same time, with the right knowledge, with the right tools, with the right systems, and the right mindset and the right network, then there's always opportunity. Like, the more people become uber wealthy in recessions. I'm not saying there's a recession now. What I'm saying is there's always opportunity, because when the market changes or when things get tougher, people get out. And when people get out, that's opportunity for people who know how to play the game. Who would agree with that? Give me a thumbs up or a smiley face if you agree with that. So like buy-to-lets, I do love them. They're not my biggest strategy, and I'll tell you why very soon, but I do like them. But you can also sell these on as deals to other people. Yeah. So let's have a little look. So imagine you're like, Tom, I haven't got 40 grand right now. Maybe I'm starting out and you want to make some cash, but so maybe you've got some money and you could buy one of these tomorrow, maybe. Then why not make £300 net cash flow per month? But let's say you haven't got any money right now. You could find these deals for investors and package them as a deal and make like 3 grand, 5 grand per deal. So some people just sell like 4 deals on a month and they're making like double the income that they ever made in a job. And the best bit is you've got more of your time back. Yeah. So deal packaging is a great way to actually to start creating some chunks of cash, big chunks of cash. And ultimately, because you're not buying it, you're not owning the property. Like, this is like an amazing way to literally say, found a house, there's an investor, have it investor, and then you get paid just for connecting these two people up. Like, maybe they're time poor. Maybe they don't know where these amazing opportunities are. That's where knowledge comes in. With that knowledge, with implementation gives you a great way to make money. So of course I sell deals on. Like in the past, I've sold single lets, I've sold rent to rent deals on. I get asked all the time, Tom, will you find multi-let HMOs deals? You can make 15 grand if you found a house, convert it to an HMO, and then sold that as a deal to an investor, as like, so you project manager, 15K as a deal packager. How many of them would you want? So do let me know. Who would you go to with these packages? Great question, Rob. So obviously, deal packaging, you need to find the investor, and then you can source to order. Like I've got over 25,000 people on our email database. So do you think if I had a deal and I emailed out my database, do you think somebody would pay 3 grand for it if it's stacked? Yeah. So that's where you've got to have your pipeline of investors and your pipeline of deals, and you've got yourself a business. But the best bit is you're in control of your time. You can then choose to turn on and off the deal packaging machine as and when you want more money. And it's a great way to make chunks of cash. Maybe then save these chunks of cash and then you buy one of these. And then now you've got near passive income, because this then comes in every month whilst you sleep. That's why I love property, because it's the near best passive asset-backed business you can get. So the thing about deal packages, and you need no money. You don't need to apply for mortgage applications or bridging finance. You don't have to buy the house. There's no deposit needed, no credit checks, and then you can save this up. Yeah. So for me, this is a great way to really get started. You get experience of appraising deals. You get experience of negotiating with agents. You get experience of working with investors. You get experience of what places that you think you would like to own. So then when you've got the money, you go and buy them. You now know how you've now got the machine to start sourcing property deals. So when you want to buy them, they got all the mechanisms. Like, this is a great starting point. And the best bit is you can do this as a side hustle if you've got a job. Like, even if you sourced on one deal a month and you got $3,000, like, how many of you would find that as a great additional strategy? Like, it's amazing. And it's life transformation. Like, some of our academy members, that's their full-time job, not job, their full-time business. And they've left their job, and they've got time, they're controlling their time. Whereas when they're an employee, they can't. So my prediction number 3 is, I think, across the country. So imagine these single-lets, like this single-let, in the not too distant past was about 425 a month, and now it's 500. So my prediction is that we're going to increase again by 5-10%. Why? Because the population is growing. We're not building houses fast enough. The price of property therefore increases, and therefore less people can afford to buy. So then the rental market increases. But it's not just about that. More and more people are actually enjoying having that transient life where they're not committed to like being tied down to a small little village for like 10 years. They think, you know what, I want to go and live in London for like a year or two. I then want to go to Birmingham. Then I want to go to Madrid, and I want to come back to Newcastle. Like, people like to be more fluid in their lifestyle. Would you agree with that? Say, yeah, like that's my mantra. That's how I think. So for me, renting isn't a bad thing. It's a great opportunity for people because it gives them flexibility and freedom and more choice. And choice ultimately is what controls the quality of our lives. Whereas if you buy a house, people often feel like, oh, well, I can't really move now because I'm stuck. I own this house, like the king of my castle, queen of my castle, and they just like they stop being transient. So I think it's a great opportunity, like to hold assets as a rental model, because you're going to get much more cash flow, and it's only going to go one way in terms of rent. So who thinks buy-to-lets are of interest to them? So write the word buy-to-let if you think buy-to-lets. If you think deal packaging is a great starting point for yourself, write deal packaging. Let's have a little poll, or let's having some engagement. So we do run a 1-day free event. Okay, well, when I say free, it's £1. It's a 1-day free event. We are in Newcastle and London. London is the next point of call. Yeah, the next point of call is London, and it's on the 14th of March. So it's a great way. So like, so there's a good chunk of people on. There's 70 people on this webinar tonight. So like, huge gratuity to yourself. But imagine we all hung out together. Like, the best thing for me about doing property is, if you're in a community, let's say all 70 of us showed up in the room, there's like 99.99% probability that in that room we could raise all the money to buy all the property deals that we need. We could find all the deals because we've got all the tools and systems as a community. And you get to hang out with people who are nice, motivated, who are willing to show up at 7 p.m. on a, I don't even know what day it is, Tuesday night. And people embrace and love education. Like, so imagine we all just rocked up to London, and we spent a whole day together, like 9 till 8 p.m. And we delved into all these things that I'm covering tonight. By the way, I'm doing rent to rent still tonight. We're looking at I'm looking at multi-lets as well. And we're going to talk about a few other strategies too. So like, this stuff, we're just going to delve into more detail like this, and we get to know each other. It's a great way, because you're going to do joint ventures together. It means you're going to find out more about the latest strategies, and we're going to find deals live in the room, and that's so exciting. Yeah. So even for the first time ever, as a special gift, I'm going to be putting on some food as well on the evening, because we're going to be staying later. So I thought, you know what, my gift to showing up, I'm going to be putting some food on too, just a light snack a Rooney. But ultimately, it's just a thank you for being committed to being in London, and it'll be in Knightsbridge. So we do run events in Newcastle. We were in Bristol a few weeks back. We were in Edinburgh. We've been in Manchester. Ultimately, London's next. So why get into property? Property for me is just the best asset-backed business you can get, because you can buy property, you can then hold it and create cash flow, and from that cash flow, it comes in every month. So this book, that's why this book's called Property, Wealth and Cash Flow. It's not about just making a shed ton of money. It's about cash flow, because you can spend it. Often people are more bothered about the fact they own 10 properties, or they've got a multi-million-pound portfolio. Like, I could flag those cards and say, yes, I have, but I'm not really bothered about that. I'm more bothered about what you can spend, because you can spend it on the lifestyle that you want to create, or you can spend it on your family, or you can spend it on looking after your parents, or you can spend it on creating the life that's just inches away, but it was just not without reach because you haven't got the ability to pay for the lifestyle yet. Do you get that? So for me, by creating this passive income, nobody's now in control of your bank balance each month in terms of income. You're in control because you've created these multiple flows of income. So maybe you're deal packaging, yeah, with the deals that you don't want. How cool is that? So you buy the ones you do, and you sell no deals that you don't, and you still make money. You then do some single lets. And we're going to come to rent to rent and multi-let soon. So you're creating these multiple deal flows, and maybe do some joint ventures through our community. That's why I think it's imperative you show up in London on the 14th of March. Yeah. But the best thing is you can compound this into multiple houses, and then over time, by the way, I did 10 HMOs in 10 months. Now HMOs is multi-lets. I did rent to rents. I did over 100K net profit from that one strategy in 1 year. Like, these are multiple flows of incomes that even if you just pick one strategy and you went, that's my cash flow, then you might think, you know what, I'm going to go part-time on that job. Or you might love your job right now and you think, at least I'm in it because I'm doing it because I enjoy it. But it means if in 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, if the tides change or the winds change, you think, you know what, I don't have to be here. I want to move and do something different. Because Jim Rohn says, we all have the same wind blowing on us, but it's the setting of the sail which creates the destination. But wouldn't it be cool if that setting of the sail was determined by what you really want to do, not because of necessity, because you've got to go to that job? Yeah, he would agree with that. Say, way I. So probably for me, we live on an island. We're not going to get any more land, and ultimately population just going like that. And so therefore, we've got to build more, but we're not keeping up with capacity. And this is what we delve into on the free Property Wealth and Cash Flow event in London on the 14th of March. It'd be great to meet you. And great to sign a book. It'd be great to sign a book too. Great to hear, Angela. Where are you from, Angela? So, like, for me, this is why I love property, because as much as I absolutely love coaching, mentoring, for me, that's mega fulfillment. My other fulfillment comes from the fact that actually, I was in Greece last summer, and we went, sort of like, let's go sailing. So we chartered a yacht, we had to skip it, and we sailed. And the money from properties enabled us to do this. A few weeks back, I was like, all right, I'm going to go skiing because the weather's great. So we booked about 5 days beforehand, and I flew off to go skiing. I didn't have to put time in to go and ask permission to get the time off. But it also enabled me to have an elevated life experience when I was there. I had better hotels, better ski equipment, like 5-star hotels. But maybe you're not bothered about that. Like, what would you do with your time? Like, I absolutely love giving back. So there's me volunteering in the Scout Association. That's there. Like, this is my flow when I'm not doing this stuff, which I love as well. I get a buzz off this. So for me, this is what it's enabled me to do properly. So we are going to be in Kensington then on the 14th of March, 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. But the best bit is, so you know that single net we showed you, like, we're going to show you how to find those deals live in the room. Because, like, for me, I want to empower you to have the confidence to say, hey, this stuff really happens. Like, some people off just that 1 day free event go and buy property, which they never could before, or they've doubled the amount of properties they own in. So I've had people who already had a portfolio of like 5 or 6 properties, came on that 1 day event or the 2 day event, which we run as well. And they just went, like, they went boom in terms of their results, because they had an open mind to more success. They had an open mind to learn, and they had an open mind to the stuff that we do, rather than this whole kind of like attitude, like, hey, I don't need to know anything. Rather than have that closed mindset. So yeah, I would love to meet you. So in the morning, by the way, we look at how you can get better success in property, like how we really make sure you can make more money. Like, so for me, if thinking about these predictions which I'm coming through in property, and the single lets and the deal packaging, how you can really make that work, and how's it going to work for you? Like, what is it going to work for you? What do you really want out of property? Like, Do you really want to have 10 properties or 20, or do you really want to have £5 a month cash flow? Tell me what's going to be. Would you prefer to have £5 net cash flow per month, or would you prefer to have 5 properties? But it wasn't about cash flow. You had 5 properties. Which one would be more important? If you had to choose 5 properties or property, whether it was 1 or 5, that made 5K cash flow net a month. Great share, Rob. Yeah, fantastic. By the way, the more you engage with us, the more I can get to know you. So we're a great amount of people on tonight. Mega grateful. But ultimately, what is it going to do for you? Yeah, like, was it cash flow for me, or is it cash flow, or is it like having 5 houses? Now, it's interesting to know that a lot of landlords out there who I'm working with actually had a lot of houses, but had really poor cash flow because they were so fixated on just having houses. And as soon as I've worked with them to change this mindset, they're like, wow, life has just been elevated. I now understand how it all works. Like, but you just don't know what you don't know, do you? So that's what, for me, knowledge is power, but knowledge with then execution and implementation is like uplifting yourself to another level. So after at lunchtime, then we're going to do a deal finding extravaganza challenge. Yeah, we're going to like really delve into this like deal finding excitement, where you're going to go find an amazing opportunity. Boom. And then see who can find the best deal just to sit on Rightmove once you've learned my system. And Alex can give you confidence. It's you're going to work with people, so you're going to get to know people who might be joint venture partners, or they might lend you money, or you might find a deal which you think, hey, I'm going to buy this one. Because we're going to look at where in the UK should you buy and why should you buy it. Would that be powerful? And then in the afternoon, we're going to look at things like rent to rent, which we're going to talk about tonight as well. And I'm going to show you case studies on things like multi-lets and how you can become an amazing deal packager, so you can make 3 to 5 grand per deal. And then we're going to look at different creative no money down strategies. And then I'm going to explore about the power of mentorship, like how that's just changed my life. How having some proper advanced training, some support, how you can really go at the next level, how you can scale a multi-million-pound portfolio. So here's an example of rent to rent. Okay. So this is another amazing opportunity which you can actually create cash flow from property. So we looked at deal sourcing. We've looked at a single buy-to-let and how that's an opportunity for you to create some money. I've given you some different things which I think are opportunities for 2020. But this is something a lot of people don't even know is legal, and they think it's illegal. So here's an example of a house. If you want to buy this house, you're going to talk like 270 grand. Yeah, 270 grand. And this house, I just rent for like 650 a month. Yeah. And we look after it. We spend time making sure it's amazingly clean and looked after, for a great quality product and service. And we rent the rooms out individually. And we get a rent from around about £1,800 a month from this one house. So if you think about it, I'm paying £650 to the landlord. I'm then getting in £1,800 per month. And I'm paying some bills like gas, electricity, council tax, and I'm putting the cleaner in as well. And we're netting around about £700 per calendar month from one house. Yeah. So think about places in your area right now. Do you have places where there's like hospitals, schools, factories, good transport links, shopping centers, and maybe the house prices are even more expensive? Maybe you're in London, and just to rent one flat, you're talking like mega bucks. Well, wouldn't it be cool to then turn those houses into multi-lets and pay a fixed rent to the landlord for like 3 to 6 years, and then you get cash flow back from rent, and you create some profit. Yeah. So for me, this is a real great opportunity for you in 2020, because some landlords are getting sick because the government are changing some of the taxation. If you own properties in your own name, they're like, I'm just getting sick of this. I'm sick of looking at the house. The market changes. A lot of student blocks are going up. They're thinking like they can't compete with demand. Maybe they've moved on 10 years and they want to just have a more chilled out life. Maybe they haven't invested in the property, so looking a bit run down. Like, there's so many ways. Maybe they're getting divorced. Maybe they're moving abroad. All these things are just reasons why they just want hassle-free rent. Like, this is an amazing opportunity. And I did 11, 12 of these deals in 1 year. This is what made me £10,000 a month cash flow from this one strategy alone. So key things to look out for, like landlords that are motivated, landlords that want hassle-free, landlords that just want peace of mind, landlords who aren't making it work, and even agents. Like, you'll speak to agents and the agents will say, multi-lets don't work around here. And you go, yeah, I know, like, but we can make them work if you know how. Yeah, so look out for them. Like these houses, if they're near good employment areas, if rents are high, or maybe you've got some big houses which are hard to rent out, because who can afford maybe £4,000 a month rent or £3,000 a month rent, and you can turn them into multi-lets, then there's opportunity there. So you're gonna need to make sure you set the right contracts up. You're gonna have to make sure that you have some compliance in place. But rent to rent is a great one. So look at these, another one. So I pay the landlord on this one £12.75 a month. We pay the bills, and I get around about 3,000 over £3,000 a month rent from tenants in this house. And this one is just about always full. So like, this is another one of what we did in our first year, and we've still got it. We, once again, really great, provide a great service. We look after the house, care for the houses like they're our own. And yeah, like, who wouldn't mind £1,000 plus a month from one property, which you don't even own? So how many of these would you need? Again, tell me in the box below, how many properties like this would you need to get more success or cash flow in 2020? Like, who's interested in this one? I want to see. Okay, great to see. So like, you can do either work with agents, or you can do direct to vendor, and we do both. Some people struggle working with agents because they don't know how to say it, what to say, how to explain it, because a lot of people think it's illegal. Because maybe you rent right now and you have something called an AST, a short shoulder tenancy, and what happens is in that contract it says you can't sublet, because in residential settings, like, that's the norm, you can't sublet. But in the commercial world, subletting is quite standard if you have the right contracts. So we have different contracts. We have like management agreements and company lets, but we've made sure that it explains it properly with the right terminology and the right structures and safeguarding for both the landlord and ourselves. And this enables you to make it happen. Yeah. So once again, it's knowledge, it's application, it's mirroring somebody who made it work. And so, yeah, we have a property management company who sit in this office, and they manage our stuff in-house. But you can also outsource this. So this is called rent to rent, because you're renting the house, you're renting it back out, and then you're profiting from this one. So this was already something called an HMO, house of multiple occupancy. So what that means is that there's more than 300 people living in the property, and in here there's 7 people. So we didn't even have to put things like fire doors and smoke alarms, and made sure that the building control was all set up, because this house already ticked all those boxes. How cool is that? Yeah. So the challenge you want to think about and you want to go and learn more about, which is not time for this call, is you got to learn how to explain how rent to rent works. You've got to understand the motivation of the landlord. You've got to provide a win-win and set up the contracts so they protect you, not just yourself, but the landlord too. For me, it's all about creating a win-win. And it's all about creating value to the person who you're working with, so they feel happy too. Like, it's not about stealing the house off them and making sure a load of cash, because if you do, they'll not recommend them to your friends or their friends. So the way we work is try and create a quality product, and so we get more and more deals. Yeah. So rent to rent, HMO is one way, but you can do this, by the way, on something called Airbnb. So how many of you live in who stayed in Airbnbs before? Or prefer that over hotels? Like, I love Airbnbs over hotels. Just give me a thumbs up if you're like Airbnb model. So you can also do this rent to Airbnb. So you can make some levels of profit, like £750, £1,000, just renting property and then renting it out on short stays. So this is called rent to service accommodation, or rent to SA, which we're going to cover more detail on the one-day event in London. But rent to rent HMO is great too. So like, there's 2 strategies which maybe you never heard before. That is actually life transformative. It changed my life like 3 years ago, because I'd been doing property the slow hard way for like 10 years. Yes, I owned a multi-let. Yes, I'd been flipping houses. Yes, I was used to single-let properties too, but I'd run out of cash because I walked out the job and I've been doing it the slow, hard way. So after I realized the latest creative strategies, I then went, wow, okay, I'm going to do deal sources and packaging. I'm going to do rent to rent. I'm going to raise on venture finance, and went boom in terms of our portfolio increase. So I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just showing you how you can mirror these two systems and tools. Okay. So if you're interested on coming to this event in London on the 14th of March, we are coming to Newcastle at some point. I'm not sure when it is. It might be May, but we are going to give you a great opportunity later tonight to get 2 VIP tickets. So by the way, you can join us at the event for £1, but there is an option to do a VIP upgrade, which we're going to talk about later tonight too. So one other opportunity in the next 12 months is, I think the UK interest rates are going to remain flat, if not go down slightly. Okay. So why am I telling you that? It's because it means borrowing money is super cheap. So like mortgages, they're so low. Like somebody's telling me like their mortgage is like 0.98%. That's insane. So that's a great opportunity because it's cheap money. So rather than buy, so maybe you're trying to create multiple income streams this year and you've got a chunk of cash. Maybe you've got 100 grand, 50 grand, a couple of £100,000. So rather than buying one house on its own, why not actually put just 25% deposits down and leverage cheap money? And that means that you can also forecast the next 12 months that your borrowing is going to be really low. It also means, I think, that it's not going to spike up really drastically in the space of a few months. So, when people say 6%, 8% interest rates, there's going to be a good period of time before it ever gets back to that. And if you work with us and follow our systems, when we appraise buying this stuff, we always factor in higher interest rates. So you know that if it ever goes up, you're okay. But UK interest rates are so low right now. It means money has never been so cheap to borrow. So that's great for you. So if you've got hardly any money, you can leverage other people's. And it also means that you can borrow money from maybe someone's got money in the bank making 0.5%, and you can give them higher amount of money and take out a loan. That's a great win-win, isn't it? So I think you've got another good road ahead on borrowing cheap money. Yeah, you've got the opportunity, the fact like in the north, prices are going to be rising. You've got the opportunity, the fact that London's flatlined right now. So there's going to be some motivated landlords potentially because they're thinking there's now the time to get out. So there's some opportunity. There's when people think the market sucks or is a bit turbulent or now's not the best time, it is the best time because there's so much going on if you know how. Yeah. So this house, for example, I own this house with one of my business partners. This is called a HMO, House of Multiple Occupancy, but I own this one. So we turn this into 2 4-bed HMOs. So we call it an 8-bed because it's we run it as an 8-bed, but it's got 2 kitchens. So I can't see the stats. So yeah, we get 3,800 a month from it. We got a new revaluation at 375. We spent 100k on it, and like we own another building on the same site. We pulled all our money out of this site, out of this project, and so this is like a house for free. So we bought it, added value, and got a new valuation. And on the free event, Property Wealth and Cash Flow course, we actually look at how to appraise it in detail, like in terms of like what the value will be, so you have more confidence to know like what you can buy it for. So like I love HMOs. So I showed you at the very start, like single buy-to-lets, and they're really great if you're starting out on property because they're lower risk, they're low entry point properties. But the downside is they only make £300 a month. And some of you might go, you know what, Tom, £300 a month is amazing. I'd happily have a couple of them and I'm happy. Whereas these properties make us like maybe 1.5 grand, £1,200, £2 grand. So I'm doing some pub conversions as well right now. I've got a commercial larger 28-bed HMO conversion on the go right now. And so these property deals are just like higher cash flow and strategies. This one might be somebody's pension. So houses of multiple occupancy are great. So when I bought this, it was full of drug users. So it was quite expensive to actually have a deep clean. The landlord hadn't bothered to do any repairs to the roof. There was some structural issues with it. It needed a full rewire, full replumb, full replaster, a bit of interior reconfiguration, insulation, but ultimately the outcome just meant it was a good setup. Okay, so I'll just show you. So inside, like maybe you've seen house shares near you right now, maybe a bit run down, but I'd be proud to live in this room. Like, so as you can see, we've got nice en-suites in. We've thought about color schemes, interior design, and we want people to be happy tenants, because happy tenants stay longer, and it's about that great quality product and service as well. So this is the main, like, yes, I like single lets. Yes, I do deal packaging sourcing. Yes, I've flipped houses. Yes, I'm doing commercial conversions, but my main cash flow model, which I absolutely love, is HMOs. Because they're higher in terms of monthly cash flow, which is profit, which you can spend. And I just think because there's a housing shortage right now, this is a great model to help people too. Okay, so he was interested in learning about HMOs as their investment model. Now HMOs work all over the country, London, all the way up to the Scottish borders. Yes, they work in Scotland. They have tighter restrictions and regulations in Scotland. So it is a bit harder to do HMOs in Scotland, but people do make it work, and I know how it works. Wales, they have a few more restrictions on HMOs as well. But ultimately, that's where knowledge comes in again. Like, you just need to know where your area is, and then know how to work with the things that you've got in order to get success. Yeah. So like, I just love this model. And yeah, this year I've just put an offer again today on another commercial conversion to turn it into an HMO. Yeah, I just love them. And so we put main contractors in, but once you've done it a few times, you get an idea of what you like to put in them. And I don't know about you, who would agree with this? Yeah, you're proud. You want to be proud of the stuff that you do. It's not just about the money. Like, yes, we are making great money, but I want to like look at stuff and think like, yeah, I own that. Like that, like, I'm proud of that. Anybody else relate to that or align with that? Like, it's about legacy, and I don't want to be that slum landlord on TV where like they will whinge about how like tight you are with your cash. Yeah. So I just absolutely love it. So I'm going to go to some questions, by the way, on this stuff. So please do stay at the end. But ultimately, I want you to join us in London on the 14th of March, because I want to get to know you. Like, the business is done when you get to know each other. Like, I might be your joint venture partner. You might meet people in the room who will be your funder. You might be if you've got some money right now, there'll be people in that room with deals to help you get success. Like, if you're in London and you want to meet people from the Northeast, there'll be people there so you can connect. Maybe you're in the Northwest and you want to meet London investors who are time poor. There's a great way to connect. Maybe you've got loads of time. Maybe you're starting out. Well, like, I'm an investor. I'm looking to work with people who are time poor. So for me, like, there's a great opportunity, and that's where community comes in. And it's a full day, like 9 to 8. Just think how much content we'll cover. So even on just a small amount of time, like, think of what we're covering. Like, imagine 9 till 8 p.m. how much value and content, and especially when we're doing like live deal searching, and we're looking for who can find the best deal. For me, like, yes, listening and doing a bit of engagement online is okay. But immersive deep dive where you get to actually rehearse and interact, and we look at how to network better and how to raise your profile on social media. Like, this stuff is going to get you more success. Okay. So we've actually, Mahesh just said we've actually going to there's 2 tickets. Now, Mahesh, as you said, he's removed the £1 entry as a promo for you guys tonight. So you don't even now need to pay £1. So Mahesh is going to put the link in. But what I want to do, though, is I really want to work with people who want an upgraded experience. So we also have the opportunity to have front row seats. So for an investment of £40, you'll get a Q&A with myself during the evening, just myself and the VIPs, and we're going to put some food on. You also get a work booklet where you can take notes. It'll be purchase lease options, HMOs, rent to rent, buy to lets, raising joint venture finance. And also you'll get access to an online rent to rent video series. And you also get a signed copy of my book. So if you're interested and joining me, and you want the upgrade experience with the offer, including the book tonight, is £40. Mahesh will put the link in. But even if you you want to just join us for free, do click on that link now and just make that commitment. Like, how cool would it be to have our community, all 70 of us in the room, network and getting to know each other in an amazing place in Kensington, in an amazing capital city, and do click on the link. So before we go to some questions about any of our projects, we do have a fantastic private Facebook group. It's free. If you want to click on the link, Mahesh will put it in the group. That group will give you access to our community. It's private. I monitor it. I try and get rid of any kind of like rogue deals. I can't vouch for that. They'll be kosher, but I try and monitor it to try and just keep out all the waifs and strays who I think aren't being adding value. Okay, so JC says it's an awesome group. That's hugely great feedback. I thank you so much for that. But if you want to join us then for this event, it's a one-off event. We've never done a one day before. It's a new setup, new structure, where we'll be covering everything from how to find deals, and we're going to be rehearsing it live in the room. But the best bit is we get to know each other to get more deals, raise more money, to get you more success in 2020, where these tools and systems we've been covering, like rent to rent and purchase lease options and buying buy-to-lets and buying HMOs and commercial conversions, I'm going to show more case studies to help you understand what's right for you. So before we go to Q&A, what questions do you want to ask me? And let's have a look. So what questions do you have before? So Craig says, I attended Tom's courses and highly recommend you attend too. So much value from the 2 days. Fantastic feedback. Thank you. Okay, great question, John. Okay, so John, what's your question? What do you want to know? What's the longest property has taken to rent? Great question, Jamie. We've rented all ours out in like a month. Our bigger projects where we have like 12 rooms, we sometimes take about 2 months to fill it. And sometimes after 3 months, one of them might move out. But we typically fluctuate around about 5%, 95% occupancy across our portfolio. Great question. Is it a 1 or 2 day event on the 14th of March? It's a 1 day. It's the first time we've ever done a 1 day event. We normally do 2 days, but often people say 2 days is a big commitment. So I thought, okay, let's do a 1 day. It's an opportunity for us to give you more tools and more knowledge and ideas so you can then get success straight away. Or you think, you know what, I like Tom. I want to work with them more. So you might come to our advanced training or our mentorship programs. There'll always be that opportunity to work with us to deep dive in further. But hey, like it costs us like over 20 grand to put these events on. You might think, how? Well, I have a team. We do marketing. It costs, do you know how much it costs to rent the event spaces in London? So I'm putting a massive commitment here, but that's just me saying, I want to work with people. I want to help. And I want to find the right people who we align with and share our same values. Okay, so John, great question. So you're saying you're ready to start the journey. Yeah, you don't know who just yet. It's advanced training I need. I've done enough one day events already. Okay, so what Mahesh will do, John, for yourself is let's book in a call with myself. Okay, here's my gift to you, John. Okay, this is a special gift. I'll arrange a one-to-one video chat with you to because it sounds like you understand, or you've done lots of 1 day events across the country and you're still maybe not getting the results you want. So let me, as a gift, let me just pick your brains and understand where you want to be. And let's see whether we can get your roadmap. How about that? Give me a thumbs up if you're happy with that, John. Mahesh will reach out. Question from Jamie. It is easier to get a mortgage if you've already got the property through bridging finance. Okay, is it easier? Great question, Jamie. So with It depends. Like if you, it depends on your outcome, Jamie. I need to know more detail. This is like, you know, how we're going to speak to John on a strategy little call there. So let's just make some assumptions. So Jamie has bought a house, okay, and he ultimately wants to get more money out. So if you want to add value to a property, if you get a mortgage straight on it, you might have to wait something called a 6-month rule before you can refinance it to pull more money out. And they might be wondering where did you add the value? Whereas if you use something like bought it in cash or use a bridge and finance product, then you can actually then put it onto a mortgage at the end and you might get more money out. So these are like advanced questions and advanced strategies. These aren't like ABC questions right now. And we deep dive on these on our advanced training called our Ultimate Property Millionaire Bootcamp. But yes, Jamie, the question that you're asking, you have more options is the answer. If you use a bridge product, you have more options, or if you buy it in cash, you have more options if you want to pull more money out. Okay. I've not got best credit score at the moment. Okay. Okay. So Joe, yeah, we can get that arranged. So Mahesh, so please do reach out to Joe. I'm at the same boat as John. Yep. Al. Fantastic. Great. How can one start even with a bad credit? Okay, Julius, great question. How can you start with bad credit? If I had bad credit, okay, well, first off, I want to know where you want to get to, Julius. So let's say I'm assuming make some assumptions. You want financial independence. You want to have some assets which you own in the future. Okay. First off, bad credit right now doesn't mean it's going to be bad credit in 12 to 24 months or 36 months time, right? We've all made decisions in the past which have like got us to this point, right? So when you have got those decisions in the past, your past doesn't equal your future, but you've got to sort of own where you're at right now. You've got to accept but then take control of it. So great ways now for you is to, if you want to get in a property, like I don't love property, but I like what it creates. I enjoy the interior design, but I don't like managing tenants. I don't love money, but I love what money can do because it gives you more choice. Do you get that? So decide whether you want to use property as the vehicle. I would, because it's the best asset backed business you can get. But then right now you might not be able to buy it because maybe your credit sucks. So you could be deal sourcing. You could be saving the pot of cash up so you get an experience of where you want to invest. By deal sourcing, you get to know investors who might lend you money, let's say in 12 months or 24 months time when your credit score gets better. And at that point, you've kind of formed yourself to now be in a great position to now buy. On top of that, you could be doing things like purchase lease options, which we cover on the one-day event in London on the 14th of March. You could be doing rent to rent, HMOs, rent to service accommodation. So you can create this cash flow machine. So you've got your time and freedom and choice right now and then helping build your credit score up. So then you can then buy properties when it becomes better. How does that sound, Julius? How can we rent a property and then buy it? Do we keep the property or sell it again? Great question. So are you coming to the event in London? Is it, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, by the way. So on the 14th of March in London, we're going to cover something called purchase lease options. You basically agree a price now, and then you buy it in the future. How amazing is that? And you can rent it at the minute. So I have a bungalow, which I'm about to buy in April. And that's it on the purchase lease option. I'm going to give you that case study. I'm going to delve into it on the in March. Okay. Great question. Does the mortgage get taken out on interest only payments? Now we take our mortgages out on interest only, but we don't get 90% mortgages. We normally go for like 75% max. And there's reasons for that. One is because it means that if the market does ever drop, it means I can still sell it and I can get out. And also if I do repayment, I'm having to cash flow more money out. So I've got less cash flow to spend. So why give it to the bank? Let's let them just benefit from the interest. What strategies can be used from overseas? Great question, Angeline. Where are you from? But overseas investors can buy in the UK. You just need to know the systems and tools. So we can work with overseas investors. So if you're interested, Angeline, do message us and we can arrange a call. So we can work with investors We can give you fixed returns, but we can also connect you with portfolio building services and just help build your portfolios in the UK. Or like I know some investors who'll just fly to their investment area, and then because they enjoy the hunt, because maybe you're a hunter gatherer right now, you enjoy the hunt of the property. So why give that out? Like, you've got to like do the stuff that you love. So I enjoy interior design, I enjoy the hunt, but I don't like property management. So that's why I have a property management company. Yeah. So Angeline, like, you can fly in the UK, you can buy in particular areas, or do you join ventures? So anything like single lets, commercial conversions, the world's your oyster, Angeline. Any more questions? You've mentioned that the monthly income is important. Do you think if house prices rise an average of 2% a year, that if you've got the time, okay, here's a question. Do you think if house prices rise an average of 2% per year, that if you've got the time, you'll benefit from the hockey stick of getting both the yield? Yes. So is it Jihun? So this is my mantra. And if you read the book, you'll get it even more. Okay. So, but remember, please do this, get on Amazon. It's $9.99. It'll help us get there as bestseller. We're number 3 in the charts right now, remember, on Amazon. But it'll give you some of the more insights on why cash flow is more important for me than equity growth. But here's the thing. If you're holding assets, these houses, let's say for 10, 20 years, not only are you getting cash flow, the house price goes up in value, you then refinance it, pull money out, and you buy more houses, and you just keep doing that. Like, that's compounding. That's why I like property, and that's why I just think it's amazing. Yeah. So, any more questions? How do you successfully get multiple mortgages, even on buy-to-let basis? You've got to have the right broker. Like, so that's where Power Team come in. Power Team is what we cover on the one-day event in London. So please do get there. Who's coming, by the way? Who's coming to London? Say yes if you come to London. There's very limited places. The room's got a certain capacity. And so once we're full, well, the door, unfortunately, we'll have to say sold out. How many of you want to do the VIP upgrade where you get to do imagine a Q&A like this, over dinner, face to face. I have a whiteboard so we can draw it all out. I can look at your property strategy. I can look at your mindset. I can look at your ideas. I can talk about what strategy might work for you. How much value would that be? Yeah. Time's biggest constraint. Which property strategy would you recommend for a newbie for good return per time spent? Okay, time poor. That's where joint ventures come in. Because if you're time poor, you can then joint venture with somebody who's time rich, has the knowledge, training. So like we have academy members who are on a 12-month program who are time rich. And so they're getting trained by me on a weekly basis. They're getting 6 face-to-face training days throughout the year. They do an initial advanced training session right at the start. They can email me. They get phone call support with me. And if they're managing their full-time in property and they're getting the best training in the country through myself and my mentoring team, and you're time poor, you can see how that is a good marriage, because it means that you can work collaboratively. If you've got, you need like at least 5 hours a week to get into property if you want to find properties yourself and buy them. So, Colin, I need to know a bit more about why you're time poor, what and how much money are you wanting to invest in property. So, bad credit. Bad credit. I currently have 2 buy-to-let properties. And is it true that once you get a certain amount of houses, you can start applying for a loan called? Yes. So you can get portfolio borrowing, Vincent. Okay. So portfolio lending, because some houses, by the way, are so cheap as well. Like you actually clump them together to get a portfolio property loan as well. Ultimately, it's just looking at how you can leverage and lean against your assets in order to get better lending. You can also lean on the portfolio to actually borrow money to buy more property as well, Vincent. So all you do is you speak to a good broker, and if you work with us, you get access to our Power Team, and yeah, and they basically look at your portfolio, and then they'll put the right product on to make it work, Vincent. Okay, you have the best credit rating. Well done, Christine. It all depends. Do you want cash? Like, how much cash flow do you want? How much time have you got? How much money have you got to put in the property? So like, I love rent to rent. I love HMOs. I love singlets. I love flips. I love buy. I like them all. But I don't do them all straight away. Like at the minute, we're doing commercial conversions because that's what I'm enjoying. And if I could easily set up a full-time sourcing business. Like if you were starting out, you could easily just do a full-time sourcing business and make 10, 15, 20 grand a month. If you'd followed the systems and you applied yourself and you just matching the right deal to the right investor. But like for me, that's a side hustle. I like commercial conversion. So it's more about Christine getting to know you. So are you coming to the London so I can get to know more about what is it you need and want? Yeah. So we're going to wrap it up there. So can we do rent to rent and HMOs at the same time? Yes, you can. I'm time poor because of my existing work and spare time being valuable spent doing things I love, but I want to start a new line of income. Great. So what do you do, Colin? And what kind of funds can you access to? So on the one-day event on the 14th of March in London, we actually look at ways you can raise finance and leverage your own equity that you got in your own property. Okay. So it all depends on what level of funds you've got, Colin, and whether you want to leave money in deals or you want to pull all the money back out using that buy, refurbish, refinance model as well. So there's it'd be great. Are you coming to London to meet us on the 14th of March, Colin? We can delve into this on that Q&A. If you want to buy it for £40 plus VAT, we can delve into this on that day and we can map it out for you. How does that sound? So there we go. It'd be great to see you on the 14th of March. I've given you great value there. Not only are you going to get the private Q&A, you're going to get a sign book from myself. You're also going to get a private Q&A on the evening just with me. There'll be a small amount of people, probably around about 10, 12 people as VIPs, maybe 15. And we get to spend an hour looking at yourself and looking at deep diving into your personal model. Because ultimately, I can't look into your eyes and say, what's stopping you, okay? You can buy the book at the event as well. Yep, I can do signed copies at the event as well. But ultimately, if you want a copy this week and you can help us boost into the Amazon bestseller chart, we're already at number 3. If you really want to help us and you get this book this week, then do get it on Amazon at $9.99 and it'll wing your way this week. Hope that's been of interest. I hope you got value from this. And please do join us in our Facebook community group. It's private. It's for you. We chat about property, we chat about deals, people post deals in the community, and ultimately it is for you. Please do share this to other people if you found this of value, and follow me on Instagram and YouTube, Tommy Property. Great value, massive success for you, and I want to see you in London on the 14th of January, 14th of March. My name's Tom Haney. You've been awesome. Good night.